All right, you guys watched a Serbian film, and I promised we would watch something way tamer after this one, because I said we gotta start strong, and I think we have started strong.
Yeah.
So now we can cool off by a lot. Cause we're doing some gross stuff with this show, but really what I'm interested in is film controversy, what movies were getting protested, banned, censored, that type of thing, which movies had people upset. I suppose the way I would put the films I want to talk about on this show is films with a reputation, because that leaves a little room for, on the one hand, something we talked about in the Caligula video, Raw.
Right.
Which is, I don't think it's that controversial, because I don't think the people who would be upset by that film are actually watching it. Everyone I know who's seen Raw is oh, that movie's so gross, I loved it. But films with a reputation also leaves room for, on the other hand, something like today's film that was very controversial when it came out in the 1930s. By today's standards, maybe not so much. Today we were watching a film from 1932 from director Todd Browning. It's Freaks. And this is gonna be a huge step down from the stuff we've been doing.
Matt, you just, what you did is you gave me tequila and fucking whiskey, and then you decided to just give me a beer.
Is this the movie that has the deleted ending? Lost media ending?
About 20 minutes of this film is lost. At least from the original cut. The full theatrical cut is still out there, but the original ending from the test screenings was cut and has been lost to time.
I'm glad I'm finally seeing this. This feels like a movie that I should see.
Yeah, this one's so much tamer. I'm gonna have Mitzi on this episode. I think Mitzi's gonna love this movie.
Nice.
I don't think my heart can handle this. You literally just walked up and punched me in the dick, and then you went, "Hey, here you go. Have a squishmallow next."
I'm not a juvenile delinquent.
Welcome back, freaks. I'm your host, Matt Presents, and I'm joined by... Alright, Michael is incapable of introducing himself. Chris?
Hey, what's up? I'm here with a dog, apparently. He's just gonna do it, I guess.
Rex is the fourth co-host.
Yeah, apparently, at this point, with Sadie.
Well, Rex is now the third co-host because Michael can't introduce himself.
Alright, fine, bye. Hello, it's me, Rex.
We have a guest with us today. It is the beautiful and lovely Mitzi.
I'm the favorite. Everybody loves me, specifically.
Hello, Mitzi, my name is Rex.
Hi, Rex! Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Not me, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he attacks children. Don't worry about it.
That's the saddest thing you could hear a dog say if a dog could speak. It's just oh, who's a good boy? Not me.
Today we're watching the movie Freaks. This is a whole hell of a lot tamer than the first 3 episodes we did. Honestly, in retrospect, I was thinking about it and I'm I maybe should have done Freaks before a Serbian film.
Yeah, thanks.
But, too late for that now, I guess. By the time I had that epiphany, the Serbian film video was done. I'm yeah, obviously this is going out and Freaks is not.
Well, your strategy is come in hot and then kind of reel back a little bit,
I feel like you kind of had a gradual build-up, too, where Pink Flamingo's Caligula was a little bit more extreme than that, for different reasons. Pink Flamingo's definitely, and Caligula are definitely close, but it felt like a gradual build-up to then, move to Serbian film, where, okay, now we're taking a step back, and maybe we can just slowly build ourselves back up to something really, really, really horrible again.
The trauma's coming in like waves. It ebbs and flows. It's,
I mean, we will certainly be visiting films that I think are, in a Serbian film territory, you know. Now, in spite of this being tamer than the other films we've talked about, it was, like, super controversial in its time. This might be, like, one of the biggest film controversies.
I've heard it's a good movie, and I heard that, like, I'm sure you're gonna get into it. Like, this movie's only an hour long. It's supposed to be longer than that.
Oh, it's only an hour long?
Yeah, so this movie had an early cut that was like 80 minutes-ish, in the 80-minute range, and it got very negative results from test audiences, and it was trimmed down to its current, like, hour runtime. I do want to hold off talking about what was cut and the many alternate endings of this film till we actually get to the end of the film. I just think it would be more contextually relevant there. But a lot of this film, like a big chunk of this film, has gone missing. And even the trimmed down version people were upset about. There were, like, various censored cuts all across the country. This was banned several places. I honestly think it's, like, the earliest example of people getting upset that a horror movie is scary. And I like, to some degree, I think that's maybe a little bit, like, of a dismissive way to talk about movies, but there's some times where I'm like, what are you you are upset that this horror movie is scary. That happens so often, and I think Freaks is, like, the first example of that. In fairness, this is a fairly subversive movie. It is explicitly a story of, like, the outsider rising against, you know, like, the status quo, the people who are, like, respected in society. So, you know, naturally, the polite society of the 30s was going to be very upset by that. But sometime around the 60s, like 62-ish, this became, like, a huge underground hit, real big counterculture thing through a lot of the 60s. And it's really easy to see why. It's really easy to see why counterculture types would identify with this film. The Ramones reference it in a lot of their songs. It's a pretty popular movie, pretty well respected nowadays, in spite of its initial reception. Todd Browning, who's probably best known for directing the original Bela Lugosi Dracula movie, this really hurt his career. Like, he wasn't completely, like, blacklisted after this, but the budgets just got smaller and smaller, and within, like, a decade, his career had fizzled out.
It's kind of especially tragic when that happened back then, because, like, the accessibility of filmmaking was not even close to what it is today. So if you were dumb back then, I think you were just actually done. The other thing I wanted to say, the only thing I could think about people maybe taking offense to, but I do not think at this period in time they would have, is that it's a real freak show that they used to make this movie. I could see, like, someone today saying maybe, oh, making that into a horror film, maybe that's a little insensitive. No one would give a shit about that back then. So that can't be it either. Like, that's just the only thing I can think of.
Honestly, I think it's almost the opposite. I think there is some ableism that underlies, like, the hatred for this movie. Now, I think you could make an argument that the film is sort of exploitative of these people, and I wouldn't totally disagree, but I would say it's, like, kind of a misreading of the text.
The only thing I'm getting from these descriptions, and I have not seen this movie, is that this is essentially Evil Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Let's get into the movie, shall we? Finally, an episode where I won't have to censor 50% of the movie, just to not violate YouTube terms of service.
It's also a shorter movie. This editing will be pretty easy on you.
Let's just hope I send the audio in a reasonable amount of time.
They did not ask to be brought into the world.
Same.
I exist without my consent.
Yeah.
Are these actual little people, or just, like...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all of the, like, quote-unquote freaks in this movie were part of, like, an actual... I don't know if they were actually in a group together, but they were all candidates to be
Yeah,
in a
no,
freak
these-
show.
Yeah, these
Oh.
were all real circus freaks.
Oh.
Now your imagination. But Monsieur Duvin.
Oh, look at these freaks.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Look at these fucking weirdos.
yeah.
They did not ask to be born French.
Oh, they're just vibing. They're just turning up. Fucking get down to this harmonica beat.
Hell yeah.
Don't invite me unless this is the vibe.
Josephine Joseph, half woman, half man.
You didn't tell me I was in this movie.
Hey.
I was literally about to say the same thing.
It's the famous Seal Man.
He was once a man, but he got turned into a seal by a witch.
Oh, like that one Kevin Smith movie.
But may I have the loan of another 1,000 francs until my money from Paris arrives?
I'm a Nigerian prince.
This is my 7-step skincare routine.
This is Frozo. Frozo you're talking to.
The guy
Frozo?
with the super suit?
I was about to say from The Incredibles.
You're a pretty good kid.
I'm 36.
Someone did try to there has been a remake of this movie, right?
There has?
I don't think so.
They should. Someone should get on that.
Maybe, actually.
Honest to God, and I might just be saying this because he remade that one circus movie, but it wasn't even really a circus movie, just the beginning of it was. But I think Del Toro could remake this, honestly. I think it would work.
I could see it.
Just because you're a man and a woman doesn't make it okay for you to be a Peepin' Tom.
Yes, it does.
Or Betty.
Yes, it does. It's part of the rules.
Okay. I didn't know, I'm sorry.
But I don't like fruit.
I do.
Homophobe.
How can you not like fruit, though?
Fruit is so broad.
Yeah. Fruit could be anything from, like, a strawberry to an avocado. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, don't you worry, Frida. He doesn't love her. Oh, that big horse.
He's actually a pretty small horse.
Was this peak comedy back in the day?
Now, guys, look, that dude's rubbing a hot woman's back.
Uh-huh.
And your figure. How it stood out. It looked great. Say, you have got a good figure.
Man, the riz on this man.
I can't imagine anyone turning this guy down.
Michael, take notes. This is how you flirt.
Alright.
Yeah, this is the Riz Master 3000 over here.
Oh, this is my favorite guy. This dude just fucking lights a blunt and smokes it with no hands.
God, what a
Chad.
fucking hero.
You're a funny guy, Frozo.
He is a clown.
Yeah.
I'm mad that took me as long as it did.
I make the world laugh.
You don't make me laugh. Although apparently I'm supposed to take notes on you on how to flirt.
Well, be in the bathtub.
Yeah,
first of all.
and forget your dates.
I'll rub
Yeah.
myself when there's not actually water in the tub. Oh. They acknowledged it.
Yeah, so forget your dates and then just start kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've wanted to forget about our date for a long time.
Everybody knows if you go to a circus to become a clown, everybody's gonna want to fuck you.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
You know what they say about big shoes?
As a clown fucker myself,
Hey!
Never mind, Label, was I so happy? No, hon. You think it only.
It only feels like you're happy.
Divorce, 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 divorce.
I think that was the divorce.
Let's hear it for divorce, everybody!
Send those papers!
I say D, you say force. D!
Divorce!
Yeah!
When do we get to the killing?
No, that's the part that got lost.
Oh. Ooh.
No, wait for it.
It's like very unsatisfying. It's just like one of the guys who was in the woods at the beginning and hasn't shown back up yet. And he died of, like, a heart attack.
Dysentery.
Yeah, honestly, the part that got cut out was just like 20 minutes of him shitting himself because of the dysentery. No big loss, honestly.
Then it's not for hands you care. It's the money.
Money. You, little mind reader.
No, it's not for the money. I just think it's really funny.
I'm doing this for the prank.
Doing this for the
It's just a prank, bro.
It's just a fucking prank. Get over it. Calm down.
Yo, look at him go!
Yeah! These bitches know how to turn up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
It's like, she is literally a fucking James Bond villain.
This shit has been
Yeah.
happening right in front of you the whole time. Come on.
Oh, my little green-eyed monster.
I don't think he's being overly jealous for that one.
I also don't think that she's monitored that bottle of poison that well.
Yeah. Never get drunk if you're trying to poison someone.
Never poison someone if you're trying to get drunk.
Come on, kids, have some wine.
I mean, that's just what
Some
church
champagne.
is. Hey, come on, kids, have some wine.
Freaks! Freaks! Freaks!
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, holy jumping Christmas!
Oh, it's a holiday movie.
Woo!
Oh.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. So they're gonna die. And I feel like
I
it's been,
fucking hope so.
I feel like it's been of course he's pulling out a trumpet for this. They just really have to bring out how shitty these two people are.
She is sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I picked you up over my shoulders and danced around while this guy played a trumpet after we called every single person you love freaks. We promise I won't do it again. I like really long and extended jokes that go on for hours and make you feel really, really bad. That's just my sense of humor. You're gonna have to get used to that.
I just think it's funny for you to be in a toxic relationship with me.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, you just gotta accept my sense of humor. Some people can't take a joke.
I just think it's funny that I would be superior to you in every single way.
Doctor, what is it? What caused it? Poison.
I wonder who. It's a mystery.
Who could it be?
Man, I don't know who it could be out of all these characters.
It was actually the guy with no legs. He secretly hated Hans the whole time.
Shit.
I knew it.
Coming.
Like, what makes, like, Cleo, like, ooh, she's the lovely pretty lady, and that woman is just, like, some other woman at the circus?
What does she do, by the way? I didn't pick up on that. What does she do?
It's a good question. I don't know what she does.
Wait, what? She's poisoning him?
No, it's medicine.
Oh, okay.
Come on, that's why it's hidden.
Okay. No, I said okay.
There's children around here. You have to
I
hide
said
medicine.
okay, I get it. She's not
No,
doing anything wrong at all.
She's not, and I don't
She's a
think you
good
understand.
person.
I don't think you understand. See, look at that. Wouldn't a good, you know.
Yeah, no, she's a good wife.
Yeah.
She's never done anything wrong ever.
Thank you, Chris, for that coherent sentence.
You're welcome.
I will say, now that we're making it to the end in here, I am kind of wishing there wasn't 20 minutes not in it. Because we have like 7 minutes left, and with some of that, I know some of that's going to be credits, so it's kind of like, it doesn't feel like there's enough time to wrap this up. So everybody who was in that focus group back then, whether you're in heaven or hell or purgatory, I hope you know that everybody hates you. I just want you to know that you were on the wrong side of history, and everybody hates you. That's it.
That's why you're not in heaven.
Yeah.
There was a woman who tried to sue Warner Brothers because she said the stress of watching the movie caused her to have a miscarriage. So, if you're looking for, like, cheap access to abortion, just watch this movie.
I do like the idea of, like, the setup and they just use a switchblade on her.
Damn, okay.
Nice.
So I think this portion inspired that scene in Toy Story where all of like Sid's toys come up out of like.
Oh, I see it.
I do
it.
see that. Yeah.
I can't say that for sure. It's just similar vibes, similar visuals. See, she didn't die.
Oh my god.
Nice.
The other guy probably.
Wait, so they put
he
her.
doesn't show up again.
Did they put her head on a chicken? Did they fuse her with a chicken? Is that what happened, or like a duck or a goose?
How she got that way, we'll never know.
Okay.
She has the head of a chicken and the body of a chicken.
I'm given to understand that shot of her is where the original version ended, and this scene was added later just to sort of absolve Hans at the end.
And you should hopefully learn your lesson. Tall people are evil.
Yeah, that's it. That's the lesson, everybody.
And that's the movie.
I like how the credits just go up a little bit, then stop.
So, what we know that was cut, there was supposed to be, like, a tree that falls over on top of the lady in a storm, and the freaks, like, swarm her.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I said I guaranteed this episode wouldn't have castration in it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hercules was supposed to show up at the end singing falsetto, so there was an implied castration in the original cut of this film.
Mm-hmm.
So, if only we had that footage, it'd be 4 for 4 now.
By and large, my expectation was that she was going to either die or be, deformed in some way. I did not expect her to become a goose at the end somehow. That was the only thing that threw me off. That was the only thing I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, what'd you guys think?
I really liked it. I thought it was like... I think it's good that it's short. I would like to see the stuff that got cut from it, obviously. I think there's people out there who would like to see those cut minutes without actually watching the movie. I do think it being short helps it, because I feel like it doesn't waste a minute. Like, I think the entire thing just, like... I've seen some of these older movies where you hit a point where it's like, alright, we're really stretching this out. I felt that way with the remake, the original Nightmare Alley, where there was just a point where I was enjoying it at first, but then it hit a point where I was just like, oh, I'm ready for this to end. Oh, I'm so bored. I want this to be over. I didn't get that with this one. I felt like it made everything that was going on clear from the start, and it had a very natural progression. I think it actually could have used a little bit more time, but I really enjoy it. It's definitely a lot less controversial than what we've watched before, but I get it's a good history piece. It's like I think it has a lot of value to be talked about on this show.
I get it for the time, why it's controversial. I definitely get it for the times.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a story of the outsider rising up against, the
shitty
people. Yeah.
The shitty people, you can say it. They're just shitty. Like, they're not, like, let's be real here. They're not even really, like, high society. They're also in the circus. They're just fucking shitty. They're just shitty with a capital H.
The thing is, like, the underdog story has always been told, so I feel like the outrage, to me, I guess back in the day would make sense, but I feel like it's still kind of stupid, because, like, the people that are getting it are terrible people.
Oh yeah, no, let me be clear. Like, the people who were, like, offended by this movie are, like, the pansiest ass bitches.
They pee-peed their pants in the theater.
The people who were getting offended by this movie were laughing at the freaks as well, and then when they realized the movie was trying to make them feel bad for laughing at them, they're like, wait, what?
I feel like, I expect, because when you say controversy, I expect there to be, like, something that I could be like, yeah, I see it, but, like, is this really what we're gonna freak out about? Like, it...
Right. Freak out.
It's also a well-made movie for the time. Like, there's, like, a lot of fun shots in there.
I'm surprised that wasn't, like, a thing that, like, more people would have thought of at the time, but I don't know.
I think that it had, like, some really neat shots. It, like, definitely did a good job of showing off these people, because these are, obviously they're not people that we want to, like, ridicule or laugh at, but they are interesting people. Yeah, we mentioned, like, it could, at the beginning, Matt, how it could be seen as exploitive, but it's also like, it looked like a lot of them were having a lot of fun being in this. I think that it does more good than harm, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It is scenes like that guy getting a lighter, smoking a joint, like doing all of the steps with no hands, no legs. Like, it's like the film showcases these people just doing natural things, but it's like, yeah, it really highlights them, you know? It's not just there, it's not, the whole thing isn't just there to shock you or anything, it's there to really show these people to you.
I feel like this movie is cathartic in a way. And, you know, maybe they understood that at the time, maybe they didn't, but I'm hoping they do. I'm leaning they did. It's like, it's a cathartic thing to see shitty with a capital H people. Wait, no, it's the S that's the beginning. Why did I make the H the capital part? I don't understand. You know what? Just make the whole letters, make it all capital letters, in all caps. Shitty people get their comeuppance. What's like that? I think the conflicting feelings that I would have about it is that oftentimes, like, when you're trying to make characters empathetic, when you are trying to sympathize with characters, you usually don't make them the murderers. But I'm also in the side of, like, that's deserved.
Bitches had it coming.
The bitches had it coming. Like, I'm not even mad.
I think there's a lesser movie that would just have them getting bullied, so they resort to violence. But I think what helps with this movie is they were literally trying to save their friend's life, you know?
Yeah.
Because I agree, when you have a movie where, like, a bunch of people are bullying someone and then their response is to get violent, it's like, you know, that's not really the type of behavior you want to encourage, because that person is now going to be seen as the bad guy, so you're not even helping them. But it's also, like, in this movie's case, it's like, oh no, like, she was making it very clear that, like, it's either her or him. And they don't even kill her. They just let her see what,
she's just a goose now.
Yeah,
she's just had a goose transformation.
And the guy that they do kill was just attempting to murder a woman that they liked, and then attempted to murder the guy who was defending her. So yeah, it's an act of self-defense to an extent.
I wonder how many people watching this movie during the time it came out, I wonder how many people actually got it. You know? Like, whenever you're trying to make, like, a piece of art that is, like, complex like this, and it's not even that complex. I'm being charitable here to the people, you know, the audience that I have made up in my head. When you're trying to write a situation that is somewhat complex like this, you have to wonder, it's like, how many people actually get what this movie was trying to say? And how many people just went and saw it and went to, like, ogle at the freaks and be like, oh, you know, they're murderers, they're weirdos, like, isn't that scary? Isn't that freaky how violent they are?
I feel like the thing is, like, for the time, I don't think media literacy was there. just the time that this was released.
Yeah. And I mean, this was like pre the Hays Code, and this was definitely like one of the films that pushed the Hays Code into being something.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, I love movies from the 30s, kind of for that reason. Like, movies in the 30s were experimental because they had to be. Like, there was not an established way to make movies in the 30s.
They were just playing with it. They were just playing with the medium.
So you get a lot of, like, weird, interesting stuff like this. And plus, they were not under the restrictions of the Hays Code. I mean, like 35, like half the decade it was spent under the Hays Code, and they still made some weird stuff under it. But I think, like, the 40s and 50s are just, like, some of the most boring decades for film, because we had, like, figured out what film, how to, like, make film efficiently, and we were under the Hays Code. That's not to say good stuff didn't come out in those decades. Obviously, a lot of great stuff came out in those decades, but I think generally those are very boring decades for film, where the 30s, I think, was, like, weird and bold, and I really enjoy films from the 30s like this.
Can I will say, honestly, too, just going off of what Matt's saying, I'm willing to bet you that because, like, film was still a new medium, and messages like this probably weren't even like a percentage as common as they are now. I bet someone legitimately watched this and learned a lesson from it. I'm not saying that everyone was like this. I'm not saying it was like a super common thing, but I bet you there was someone who started this movie laughing with those assholes at the start of the movie that felt bad about doing it at the end of the film.
One guy got up in the middle of the theater and went, "I gotta change some stuff about me."
I love how you guys give the people of this time a benefit of the doubt when I honestly cannot.
I'm giving, no. Give me an honest. I'm being honest. I'm giving about 9 people exactly.
Oh, I can't even
the
do
benefit
that.
of the doubt.
It's unfortunately for me, the time is one of those, like, the way that when this was released, right? For me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I would love to believe that there's a benefit of the doubt, but we gotta remember what time this was.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking like 1 or 2 people maybe, and I could be wrong, but
yeah.
Anything else to say about the movie Freaks?
Oh, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I did enjoy it. It was a good movie.
I wish there was more murder.
It's weird to me how many people in this movie are just like people you just see every day, and it's like, yeah, no, I've just seen that person going to Walmart. Like, it's surprising to me how many of them were kind of like reduced to freak shows and circuses and stuff like that being their only jobs. And it's like, wow. What
a long way we've come.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
definitely.
that long, but still, all improvement is improvement regardless.
Anyways, for my co-hosts Makal and Chris and our guest Mitzi, I'm Matt Presents, and until next time, get more out of life. Watch a fucked up movie.